So, I'm not giving up. I want to find another build. If you've seen the picture that's starting, you know what we're going to do. Most likely, if you know the game at all. So, I have been farming again. Here on my Skelly Mage's character here, my Necromancer. And, yeah, I've been farming a whole lot. I've got a lot of stuff going on. This has already been around once, and I'm already back to 15 of 28. Been farming Mesa. I have Mesa, and I am pretty much sustaining Mesa. I have not had to buy any, run any courtyard yet. These were what I was going to run today in case I needed to make more currency. But I don't need to anymore. I pretty much purchased everything I wanted. I would have liked to have more of the gems leveled, but I got majority of them at least quality 20, if not level 1. Some of the main ones are at least 20s. So let me just go ahead and go to the leveling tab. So I spent a lot of currency. A lot of currency. So we got the +1 to fire spell skill gems wand. We got some res on it. We got fire damage over time multiplier. We got increased fire damage, 40% increased elemental damage, and 1% increased area of effect per 4% quality. And it's got a 24% quality on it. It was 1 exalt. Pretty much everything in here was 1 exalt except for the gems and the flask and 1 piece of gear, which was only 100 chaos. And the rings, of course, they were not here that much. Helmet, an exalt. The blood and sand deal doesn't really do anything for us, but it does give us level 18 burning damage. Socketed gems deal 30% more elemental damage, which is a horror craft. Life, res, burning damage, 1 level of socketed AoE gems, and increased area effect. I crafted that myself for 4 chaos. Spent an exalt on the helmet. Just need to eventually get a better enchant on it. Blood and sand doesn't help anything on this. And it's an elder influence, of course, because of the burning damage on it. So I can't put Eldritch on it. I can't give it either Worlds or Searing Exarch. So, because it's Elder. Can't cross like that. This amulet I already had. I was going to sell it, but I didn't sell it, so now it's on me. This shield cost me. This is the one that cost only 100 chaos. It gives me maximum energy resist, life, fire, not life. Well, yeah, life because of craft. Maximum energy shield, maximum fire res, fire damage, and avoid elemental elements, which is good, but is not really needed because we're going to be running purity of elements and we're going to be immune to anything anyway. But I crafted the life on there myself. These gloves actually did not have the fire damage over time multiplier on them. They just had the inflict fire exposure on hit, life, res, and then it came crafted with the life and the armor and energy shield, and I couldn't really find anything else to have, so we have that crafted on there still. And then I was able to get a Searing Exarch crafted on here for the fire damage over time multiplier. It's not the greatest, but it's more damage. This chest, 1 exalt. Same with the gloves, 1 exalt. The chest, it came with the 7% increased life recovery rate on it, and gives me intelligence, life, mana, res, chaos res, and gain 10% of maximum life as extra maximum energy shield. That was already crafted on there, and it also came with the 1 maximum life per 2% quality on it. It came 6 socketed, 6 linked, and I was able to put on there myself that unique enemy in your presence carrying X-Mark implicit gives increased damage. So not the greatest thing, but it does work. One singular delirium orb. Okay. 1 second while I deal with this person. I am still kind of wanting to get a little bit of extra chaos in case I want to purchase like gems later on as I level up. I'll show you the main ones I want to purchase later on. Trade. Please go away. All right. So yeah, the chess piece. While the unique enemy as your presence thing is not the greatest, it is more damage against bosses. So there is that. It's not a pinnacle, so it's just any unique enemy. If it was a pinnacle, it would be even worse. And then I spent... Actually, this was not an Exalt, I forgot. This was like 40 to 50 chaos. And it's a Scorch Boot. Basically, it does exploding. It helps... enemy, see, it says 37% chance when you kill a scorched enemy to burn each surrounding enemy for 4 seconds, healing 8% of the killed enemy's life as fire damage per second. It's kind of like a mini explosion, exploding chest deal. It's just a chance, but it does work. If it does go off, it's going to help you clear a lot. If you want to do better explosions, you can use Infernal Cry, but I'm most likely going to be using Enduring Cry and just take a chance with this to explode. So there's those boots. And then Soul Tether cost me an Exalt. Exalt's worth of chaos, really. A lot of this was an Exalt's worth of chaos and not Exalt itself. The chest piece is the only thing I spent a straight Exalt for. But it gives me 5% increased maximum energy shield. Life is energy shield, so this does not, it's not the max. 6% I think is the max. So it's not bad. This ring I actually had to purchase. I really needed a I needed a triple res ring basically with some dex on it. So I could drop the dex point in the POB, and I'll show you the POB later. So it's got pretty much all I need for fire, cold, and lightning res on it with some dex, extra dex, and I crafted life on it. It cost me like 30 chaos. And then this I actually already had. This was in my stash, so I just, well, not in my stash, but in my selling things tab. So I just grabbed it and crafted life on it, and we're good to go there for some extra dex and chaos res. And then this jewel I just purchased cost me 20 chaos for it, but it's got fire damage over time multiplier, maximum energy shield, chaos res, endurance charge duration. The chaos res gives me max chaos res. When I put this jewel in and have the ring on and have the tree filled out for the resistances, I will have max chaos res. So, yeah, this will be good. And, of course, the mana regeneration, not the greatest, but it does help. Every little bit helps. Then we got this bleed flask. This is the bleed flask I've been using all since I crafted it way back when. I finally qualityed it up to 20% quality. So we have this for removing bleeding if we wish to, and give us some life if we need it. Flagrant Granite Flask of the Pangolian gives, of the Dove, which gives us increased attack speed. It would have been better for the armor effect to be on the Granite Flask, but as long as I have both somewhere, it'll be fine. This is actually supposed to be... I had to buy this flask like it is, because I just could not roll it. I had over 270 alteration orbs, and I used every one of them, and I could not get this flask to roll. It was pissing me off something fierce. So I finally had to go and purchase this flask for like 20C. And it came with all this on here. Even the quality was already on here. It didn't have the when charges are reach full. I put that on there myself, of course, but it had everything else on here. Yeah, this is for if something gives us like way minus max res or something. I think there's like a couple of bosses that will hurt you for the chaos res. So I went and got this just to make sure we never run out of chaos res at all. We never go below max chaos res. So there's that. The only thing that would be better is if we, like I said, if we had the armor, increased armor during flask effect on the granite flask, and the attack speed on like either the ruby or the quicksilver, whichever, would give me I could, if I had the craft of gain 3% of life recovery, a craft from the Cinder Swallow urns from the Betrayal League in-game boss. I would have to go fight her a lot more to get that craft, because I would have to get a lot of her flask to be able to unveil it and then craft it on here. That's about the only thing that would be better in that spot. You will want my 21 greater volley support. Eventually, people are slowly buying all the stuff I bought for the thing. Oh, it would be under 20 chaos here. Volley? No, it's 10 chaos. Greater volley. Here we go. There you go. Have that. I want to thank you for the trade. I get gone. You would like a blueprint. Alright. In the 5 chaos tab, you want the this blueprint, the laboratory. Yeah. I'm not going to give it to you for free. Sure, I'll take 10 chaos for it. That's on you, my friend. I want to thank you for that trade because you just gave me 5 extra chaos for it. That's nice of you. That's nice of you. Some people just don't understand. They just fuck around and everything. Don't worry about purchasing anything anymore because they have so much currency now. Let's go back to the leveling tab. So yes, that would have been the greatest to have on there and have those moved around. This needs to have like centers on it. Charges when you're hit by an enemy. But I didn't have any more freaking alteration orbs at the time. So I just went with something with effect. So we can move quicker. This is what we had on... this is the flask we had on our last character. The poison concoction. And then we have the ruby flask for make sure we take fire resistance, less fire damage taken, and it's also got some movement speed on it as well. We don't really need elemental removal except for bleed because we'll have purity of elements on, which makes us immune to shock, ignite, and chill freeze. So like I said, the only thing I purchased was the amethyst flask. I did purchase the rubies flask, but I purchased it base and it was only like 5 chaos at most, so it wasn't worth anything. And I was able to roll. I was able to go and purchase, that's why I have these alteration orbs. I was able to go and purchase some alteration orbs for some for some of my other currency from the vendor, from the regular vendor in the epilogue act. So that's why I have some, and I was able to get it with some of those alteration orbs. I was able to get something good. Okay, so I did purchase this Righteous Fire. This only cost me 5 chaos. 2020 Righteous Fire. This I already had. Didn't have to purchase it. I just qualityed it up to 20 myself because it's already like 17% quality. Life Tap was like 17-18% quality. I bought a 2020 Swift Affliction. This cost a pretty good penny. This was 10 chaos, so I had to spend at least 10 chaos on this. Fire Trap, a 2023. This was for like 5 chaos. I I don't know why they had a 23% quality in there, but it was a 23% quality, which gives us increased fire damage. So it was mixed in with, I was just looking for 2020s and it had a 2023 and he sold it, so great. I could not afford to get a trap and mine damage support with the chaos I had left over at the time. I've since made some chaos, which is kind of why I'm still selling things right now. As soon as I get to back to 100 chaos, I might get these gems, get a 2020 of each of these gems that I don't have leveled, especially the ones for the fire trap. So trap and mine damage, just bought it from the vendor. Controlled destruction, had one, was almost 20% quality, qualityed it up. Life tap, I decided not to quality this one since it's only 5. 2020 burning damage, I did purchase. This was like 8 chaos. Not that much really. Another swift affliction, I would have had to pay 10 chaos, so I decided to hold off on that. I'm pretty much going to be buying another one of these later on. 2020s. Frostblink had one that was like 17, 16 something qualityed it up. It stays level 1 no matter what. Do not level it. Hex touch support had one that was pretty much almost close to 20% quality, just qualityed it up. Flammability, same thing here. Actually, this one was more, it was like 12, so I had to use more gem quality deals on it, gem cutters on it to get it up. So there's that, and another life tap I just bought from the vendor. Shield charge we had in our inventory as a 15% quality level 2, so I just decided, and it's corrupted so you can't quality it up more, so I decided to use it. The other one I have that has a maybe higher quality on it, I think it's like level is not corrupted, it's like quality 17. I decided to hold off on that. I just bought a faster attacks because we didn't have one that was low enough level for me to use straight up, and I just wanted to have one for when I need it. Same with life tap. Malevolence, just bought one from the vendor because the other one I had was high level. Determination, didn't even have another one of these. Purity of elements, just bought one from the vendor. Summon skitterbots, just bought one from the vendor. I'm gonna keep mine that's with this character stay here. Molten shell, had this, just decided to use it. Defiance banner, same thing. And then you can choose either Enduring Cry or Infernal Cry. Since I have the boots, I'm just going to use Enduring Cry instead of Infernal Cry. But if I ever want to change, I have one right here for when I want to, if I want to change it from Enduring Cry. And that's the gear I have. Now let's go over the POB. In case you don't know, this is the Pohx version. Pohx is a YouTube streamer, Twitch streamer, and things like that. He does a lot of Righteous Fire. It's pretty much his thing. He does Righteous Fire. And this is the Righteous Fire of the last couple of leagues is Inquisitor Righteous Fire. So it's just, I went with his no cluster jewels. That's why I have those gloves with the fire exposure on hit and things like that. So I went with all of this and everything, got all of this up here, you know, get all of this, the fire damage and all that stuff. You go up here and grab these things since you don't have clusters. If you get cluster jewels, you just take all of this out up here and then spend it on the cluster jewels itself. The way Righteous Fire works now, so you don't have to worry about like life regen, turning the Righteous Fire off every now and then, is getting Sanctuary and then Pious Path in the Cruel Lab, which is Act 7, right before you go fight the Act 7 boss. And you can make the switch to Righteous Fire at that point. And then you get this. I've already set it where I do not need this elemental res. I can take this off and put on exposure you inflicts, or at least minus 18% affected, because I have that set up for it. The gear is already set up, so I don't need the extra resistances. And then you have like things down here like Sanctum of Thought, of course, extra fire. Is this, where is the one that, this the one? one of these, I'm not sure where, gave you an extra fire risk. There we go. The barbarianism. That's the one I was thinking about. So you get barbarianism. This will be where I put my jewel that I just bought for 20C. He has fire damage over time multiplier and 7% increased maximum life. As an exalt, I could not find one that was not an exalt. So I went with what I had so I could max out my chaos res. So we have all of this and everything. We have all of these. I actually have it where I do not need that socket right there. And I'll show you where I spent it. Let me switch back to my gear. This is where I've set up my gear that I have bought. Except for the soul tether, I need to put the soul tether and flask in. 1 second while I do that. So let me do this. Control C, Control V, apply to build. Control C, Control V, apply to build. Control C, Control V, apply to build. And on and on and on and on and on. Let me get the jewel. Switch that jewel to here. All right. There we go. So, this is my build right here with things. This is the tree. This is just everything in that tree that I just showed you except for a couple of changes. I no longer need that 30, so I took that off. I've switched the thing up here to the exposure. And I've also taken this as a mastery so I can have extra chaos res, and with that I max out my chaos res. And stuff like that. Let me take all this off so you don't have those red circles bothering you. So there we go there. So basically that's what I've changed. I've changed this to the exposure, and I've changed this, put this on with 7% chaos resistance. It's mainly what it's there for. So I don't need the dexterity anymore. I have 171 dex, 314 strength, 265 intelligence, 83 fire, 78 cold, 78 lightning, and 75% chaos res, and a movement speed modifier of 22%. I don't have the gems or anything put in here, but I have everything I need for this. As long as you have 100 and say you have a level 21 gem of any straight dex, strength, or intelligence gem, all you need for a level 21 of those is 159 of that respective stat. So say you're using the fire trap. Is fire trap a straight dex? No, it's not straight dex. See, is there a straight dex? I don't. Oh, okay. Faster attacks is a straight dex. If you had a level 21 faster attacks, you would need 159 dex. Same with intelligence. This is a strength intelligence. This is just intelligence. Righteous Fire. Increased AoE. Say you get a level 21 increased AoE, you would need 159 intelligence. Same thing for a strength gem. A straight strength, like life tap. If you had a level 21 life tap, you would need 159 strength. So as long as you have 159 strength in case you get a level 21 gem, that is where you need to be, is 159. That's all you need. So I have 314, 171, 265. I am fine. And that is with all of my gear on and the tree pretty much filled out. And the tree is going to be filled out. I'm going to concentrate on getting res, of course, because this is Righteous Fire. You need resistances more than pretty much anything besides maximum life. Maximum life resistances. Burning damage like this up here, this fire damage over time multiplier and everything, since it's got fire res on it, sure, we want to grab that. But anything like this up here, just increased fire damage, we'll skip it. Life would be great. It's got some res on it. We may not need that res. Who knows? It just depends on where we are at the time. Damage over time multiplier we'll be skipping. less damage taken, damage over time might be good, but we could probably skip it, you know, and all that stuff. Just get these things, like we could totally skip the Sanctum of Thought if we have to. We'll take more damage from critical strikes, but we can skip it if we need to. We want res and life. That is the main thing we're concentrating on. Of course, we also want one other thing, and that is our sovereignty, so we can have all of our auras here and things like that. One thing I know for sure we're going to need to purchase, I think, is another round of charisma. Yeah, we're going to have charisma also. So I'll have to buy a couple of goldens to purchase that. And that is, what was that? It was opalescence golden. So yeah, that's where probably a lot of this currency I have right now is going to go to. So we can get that and put it on our deal, because I don't have it on this one. So I'll have to put it on this. All right. So that is pretty much it. This is the build right here. It's Pohx's Righteous Fire build. If you want, go check out Pohx's channel. I like him. He's got good stuff. If you follow his Righteous Fire builds, you'll be fine. It's tanky because he likes playing in solo self-found hardcore. He likes playing hardcore characters, so he's going to be building tanky characters. So we should be fine. We're going to have a 4,716 life pool with 2,796 energy shield. Kind of. I don't think we have the same exact numbers as him. If we go back to my gear, we can look at ours. We'll have 2,045 life and 1,298 energy. Because we don't have as much as he has. As good as gear as he. But we should be pretty fine. With that, we should be able to do red maps no problem. Because it has so much regen and damage mitigation and things like that, so it's gonna be. I see. This doesn't include like the gems on here, the skill gems and everything. So no determination, no malevolence for damage and everything. It doesn't even give us our damage. It just gives us the base tree and the gear. This is what we have with just the base tree and our gear. So we'll be more than fine once I add skill gems with determination and things like that. So I'm going to see what this person wants right now. You want 30. Just going to okay. Sure. Read. All right. Trade. I'll get going. Thank you. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm about to stop this video. This is going to be like the introductory video of the RF Inquisitor, and I'm going to purchase the charisma oils that I need. Put that on the amulet, and then I'll start up doing this. All right. We'll level another character. It's gonna be fine. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fine. I'll see you then. Bye.